Let us now see how exception breakpoints work. There is one relative question. When you want to pause the execution on a line that is throwing either caught or uncaught exception, then exception breakpoints are used. Here in the debugging pane, this icon is used to set exception breakpoints. When I hover on it, it is saying don't pause on exception because it is not active right now. Clicking on it to enable it, and now it says pause on exceptions. But if I check this option to pause on caught exceptions, debugger will also pause on caught exceptions in addition to uncaught exceptions. Selecting this option is optional. Going to VS Code, in this sum function, I will say if n1 or n2 are empty, then the function will throw an exception that one or both fields are empty. Let's save the file, and I will enter value in only this field. Now let's click the button, and the debugger pauses as the exception occurs. It is shown in the scope pane also. Now in the code, I will call the function that is not defined. Let's say add. Let's save the file and let's go back to the browser. As soon as the page is refreshed, the debugger pauses here as the exception occurs, showing a reference error that says function add is not defined. When I resume the execution, the error message is displayed in the console. So that's how it works. Now let's talk about the relative questions. The first question is how to debug the code with exceptions. So exception breakpoint is used to debug the code when exceptions occur. To pause on the exception, enable this icon in the debugging pane, and by selecting this option will break the execution on caught exceptions along with uncaught ones.